Hello and welcome, everybody. I am joined today with the fabulous Nicheal.
Hi.
All right, she was my second model. Well, you were my first model for this project, for our Pride Month project, and it was awesome. It came out so cool.
I had a lot of fun.
I'm glad you did, all right? But for everybody out there, why don't you just kind of introduce yourself and let them know who you are, what you do.
Sure, I am an actress, also model, and aspiring photographer. Learning a few tips and tricks from Greg. It's been a lot of help. Um, and I am part of the LGBT community. Um, it's a great community that allows me to just be myself. I've been fortunate enough that I've been able to come out to my friends and family without any like backlash or any surprise or anything like that. I've had a few questions, like people ask me like, well, what do you identify? I identify as bisexual. And so most of the questions that I get are, well, how do you know that you're bisexual? And I say, well, it's
Because a lot of people just don't believe it,
Right,
right?
they're
And a lot
like-
of people are you have to pick a side.
yeah, you have to pick a side. You can't just have both, or you're in a phase, or you're confused. And I'm like, no, I'm bisexual. You're confused, and I don't really go into details. Like, I don't like explain like my experience or anything. I really just tell people it's more of just like how I feel and how I am like presently, like how I am right now.
Okay, and what does being part of the community mean to you?
Being part of the community to me, I don't know. It's just I'm able to be myself amongst others that also identify as LGBT. No matter their description, like it's if they're pan or asexual or gay, lesbian, anything like that. To have a community where we can all come together and feel safe and support one another. That's, I think, the biggest impact.
Yeah.
Because some days, you do feel alone. And some days you're like, oh, am I the only one that's going through this? Am I the only one that has the experiences? And when you reach out to people in these communities, there's so many like apps and everything now, fortunately, that we're able to come together like virtually. We don't always have to meet in person. And just having like someone to talk to about my own experience and then hear from someone else has been really life-changing.
That's always super helpful, and it's like that in anything that you feel or anything that you identify as. Just having the knowledge that somebody else is going through exactly what you're going through, no matter what it is that you're feeling. Listen, we're all unique, but we're not that unique. Like it's been done before. Like whatever you are going through, I guarantee you there is somebody who has been going through the same thing. So
Right.
whether you're part of the community and you're having trouble, coming out or anything like that, everyone's been going through that. Everyone has to go through that for the most part, unless you just keep it a secret forever and let it eat up yourself, which is a horrible thing to do. Never let yourself, you have to let yourself be fully you. And that's what I love about the community. Not that I'm a part of it. I am pretty much the exact type that is outside of it. I am a white, cis, straight male, It's like, yeah, everyone but you. But that's okay. It's really great how everyone is there to help one another out for the most part. But I do hear stories about people in the community who hate on others, especially people who identify as like pan or bisexual.
Yeah.
Because it's like, no, you have to pick one. And it's like, no, like if somebody could be okay, being attracted to their same gender, and somebody could be okay being attracted to the opposite gender, why can't somebody be okay being attracted to both? Like, it makes completely perfect sense, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But it's like that with like any type of group. There's always going to be some type of infighting, but for the most part, it is very accepting and loving and caring. And like you said, being able to find those people who have been through the same experiences that you have, is super helpful. So I'm glad that you found that. Now, we did this whole Pride shoot. Okay. Are you ready to see your photos for the first time?
I am ready.
Okay. Close your eyes for a second.
Okay.
Oh, wait did it go? Oh no. Hold on. I might have to cut this. I'll probably leave it in. All right, here you go.
Here we go. Ready?
Yep.
Oh my God. What? This looks so good.
I told you they came out
This
good.
is amazing. Wow. And you incorporated the flag. It looks so beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I mean, you just look stunning in all of these. So these are fine art nudes. So there's like 2 from your set that I think I could actually share online. But in order to see her full set, in order to see the other models who I've worked with on this project, you could go to the blog. The link is in the description or through the bio. So you'll be able to find that.
This looks so cool.
It
I love
really
how it looks
does.
like the water effect
I
of it.
know. I know. It just came out so killer. I love this one.
Bathing in the rainbow.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was going for with this. And
That looks great.
I think something like this really kind of plays into what you were describing to me, where you feel that acceptance, where you just feel like you're in it, you know? And that's what I really wanted to capture through this series. I wanted you, and yeah, there's the hair flip.
There's the hair flip.
That hair flip came out
Iconic hair
insane.
flip.
Yeah.
How many times did we try to do the hair flip?
Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, and listen, with this hair
Yeah, I know.
and everything, I had to edit some of it out. A little bit of it got crazy, but for the most part, this
was
is like
great.
untouched.
Yeah.
And you just look stunning.
That's awesome.
And this I really love, specifically because it's like you're standing in your own and you're embracing it. Like this is all you. It's not necessarily the flag or the community, you know, like, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, like showering over you or encapsulating you, anything like that. It's you.
Yeah.
You know, so I love your strength in this photo. This one came out insane. This one I can't show on YouTube, but but there are the other ones that I could share, like this one, which is really great. But all of these came out so fantastic, and especially this first one I could show.
That's beautiful.
It's because you are, you know, it's because you're gorgeous, and it shows, and especially through that smile, you know, it shows your love for who you are, which is what I always try to capture whenever I'm photographing somebody. I'm trying to capture the true you. And do you feel like I hit that mark for you?
Yes.
All right.
100%.
Now, after seeing these photos, what does this mean to you?
After seeing these photos, it shows that I'm fully accepting who I am. You know, when I first came out, I was still going through the phase of hiding, like not being able to tell people up front.
Okay.
Or people figuring it out later on and then, you know, asking questions and me trying to dodge it. But now, like,
Yeah.
I'm really confident in myself. And,
Good.
Yeah.
You should be. Everyone should be. There's no reason not to be. Okay? All we have is ourselves for the most part. You know, we do have friends, we do have family, there are communities and things like that. But when it comes down to it, it's all about you and who you are as an individual. And it is nothing to be ashamed about. It is literally nothing to be ashamed about. You are you. If other people don't accept you, screw them. You know, they don't need to be a part of your life. And it's all about that self-love and self-acceptance. And I've been working with you for just about a decade now. How has that been for you? Because you've always stood in as like my go-to model. You've always been available, and I've used you for so many different shoots, so many different things that I wanted to try. What has that experience been like for you, Nicheal?
It's been a journey.
Right?
I feel like I learn so much from you every time we get together. It's always a fun experience.
Yeah.
And I am here for the ride.
Yeah.
I love it. This is great.
And
And what you're doing with this right now is so powerful.
it is.
And I think it's good to be at a point where we can have these conversations like on camera and talk about it openly and it not be like taboo.
Exactly.
You know?
It really shouldn't be, especially now. You know, I mean, it is so much more accepted than even what it was a decade ago. But yeah, it has been a journey for you, and I've seen your growth throughout all these years. And this woman right here in these photos, I feel like this is you, like 100% Nicheal. Oh, I didn't mean to make you cry.
They're happy tears.
Good.
Yeah, this is a happy time, people.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, once again, if you want to see this full series, click the link in the description, in the bio, and that will do it. Is there anything that you would want to say to anybody out there who's kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? How do I want to phrase this? Is there anything you want to say to those who might be sitting on the fence, who aren't sure of themselves, who feel like it's not okay to be who they are? If you understand what any of that jumbled mess means.
No, I got you. To anyone who's on the fence, no pressure, really just take the time to discover more things about yourself. Don't feel any pressure to come out if you're not ready. And when you are ready, you will have open arms, and there are people out there that will listen and accept you for who you are.
There really are, and I think people are more scared than they need to be, Like when you came out, was there any backlash? Was it horrific for you? Was it as bad as you thought it could be?
I really thought I was going to get more backlash from my parents. Like my friends, they were fine, totally fine. But I really thought there was going to be a lot of backlash from my parents. But it happened like total opposite of how I thought it was going to go. First of all, I came out on AOL Messenger to my mom.
Wow.
And she called me immediately.
So you came out in like the 90s?
I came out in the late 90s. I'm telling my age. But yeah, I told my mom on AOL Messenger because I didn't want to talk to her on the phone. I didn't want to talk to her in person. I was like, Mom, I have to tell you something. And I just typed in. I was like, I'm bisexual. And then my mom calls me and I'm like, oh no, I'm going to get the long speech. But she was like, oh my God, that's so great. Yay. And I was like, wow. And I told my dad and he was just like, okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of the time the fear isn't warranted. It's all in our minds. But sometimes it is justified too.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Obviously you do have to weigh everything out. But, even being a parent now, all you want is for your kids to know who they are and just be themselves. And my oldest daughter is 9, my youngest is 7, and it's amazing seeing them become who they are becoming. It's really weird. One of the cameras died, but that's okay. So listen, just like as a parent, like if they wanted to come out to me, it's always going to be open arms. I'm never going to judge them. I'm never going to criticize them or ridicule them or anything like that. So don't be afraid. And there's a community of people who are willing to accept you, even if you feel like no one else is. All right. So thank you again so much for watching this. Thank you, Nicheal, for doing this project with me and being with me for pretty much a decade at this point.
I'll say it a million times. You are the best.
Oh,
Everyone needs to do a shoot with him at least once in your life. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. What else did I instruct you to say? No. Thank you again so much for watching. Links in the description. Check this out. If you want to do a photo shoot just like this, if you want to show your pride, if you want to show that you are a member of the LGBT community, I am doing these sessions for select people, so feel free to reach out to me and we can get that set up for you. This is kind of like a mini session thing now that I've aced it with you. But it's a fantastic shoot. You can see from these photos just how amazing and how powerful they are. So thank you all again, and I'll see you in the next video.